Crema de Nona, how are you doing? They let us out again, if you can believe it. We are out
but this
and
time
about.
We're in Kissimmee.
Now we're in Kissimmee.
We're in Kissimmee, Osceola County.
Man,
Yeah.
we get around, Julio.
We do. Seminole County, Horace County. What's next?
Lake County.
Lake County next?
Or maybe we'll find a lake in one of the counties.
Yeah, that's a lot easier and closer.
It's hot outside, so
is.
I think we're going to worry about, maybe we're going to go swimming. No, not today.
But this is an exciting place.
Check it out. So you can see right up there, the Museum of Military History. You're going to see all kinds of cool stuff inside here. I can't even begin to tell you, not to mention, we've got some really cool shots that you're going to get as well. Come on, let's go.
The question is, are you ready? Well, hello. Welcome to the Museum of Military History, right here on 192. As you can see, this is your entrance where you can look at some of the memorabilia and actually some of the stuff that they have for sale as collectibles that also helps out. And you're going to see a whole lot more once we get inside.
Guys, again, much thanks to Tony Busby for getting us in here, and we're going to see some cool stuff that he's got in here. We might actually see one of his uniforms. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. We'll get to it soon enough.
When we originally planned our museum, we decided that we was going to start with the Civil War because we really did not have anything from the Revolutionary War, because again, that was so long ago, and it was very, very hard to get artifacts to represent the Revolutionary War. Well, there's a group of women, daughters of the American Revolution, who became a partner with the museum, and they decided that they wanted the Revolutionary War represented. So they got together and they designed and purchased everything that they needed to have this exhibit on the Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783. And so now we cover all wars that the United States have ever been involved in, including the wars that are going on with Iraq and Afghanistan and the areas over there. So we pretty much cover the whole spectrum of wars. This exhibit is for the Tuskegee Airmen. Quite a few of them are local residents down here, so we have a lot of signatures of the pilots of the squadron and everything. And these were the Red Tail and the all colored squadron during World War II, and they had a pretty good reputation. This is the area of the World War II exhibit, and where we have a large selection of German artifacts, and they were collected by one individual by the name of Frank Abbott, and he had no place to display all his artifacts, so he approached the museum and asked us if we would display them for him, and we agreed to do that, and this gave us a pretty good representation of what was used against us during World War II by the Germans. This exhibit here is in recognition of Paul Tibbets, who was a pilot that dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima. We have one of his flight jackets, and this is actually signed by Paul Tibbets, his navigator, and his co-pilot. And the other jacket belonged to C.D. Albury, and he was one of the other pilots in the squadron. His plane was scheduled to drop the bomb on Nagasaki, and evidently there was engine problems, and they had to shift to a different airplane to drop the bomb. But you know, this is quite something that we have this. And this was obtained by a local resident in St. Cloud who was an artist, and when he passed away, his wife donated this to the museum. And it's quite an interesting collection, and we're pretty proud of this one.
This isn't it either.
We'll get to it.
This is a replica of the Uss Missouri. This is the battleship where the treaty ending World War II was signed, and one of our early members of the museum was actually on board the Missouri when they signed the peace treaty. And so this was interesting. In fact, we have his card over here at the bottom of the thing, and each member of the crew was given one of those cards. We have that. Unfortunately, he has passed away, but it's a good memorial to him.
Well, here we are in the Korean War section. We actually have women that fought in the Korean War, so we salute them for what they did. We're also going to recognize the Borinqueniers, La Infantería 65 for the 65th Infantry. And the Borinqueniers were actually from Puerto Rico, fought in the front line. Here are a lot of their medals, a lot of their memorabilia. I actually got a chance to meet some of these Borinqueniers at an honoring ceremony probably about 5 years ago. Most of these men fought for their lives. Some of them have passed away because of the rage. They're in their 90s again, and highly recognized. A lot of them do live here in Osceola County. As you can see, some of the stuff that they have here that they dedicated and donated to his museum so everybody can see. But they're highly recognized for their valor fighting in the front line. So our hats off to everyone in the military. Personally, my hats off to the Borinqueniers de la 65 Infantería, so the 65th Infantry.
Hoorah!
I tried to join these guys first, but they wouldn't take me.
Again, one of the purposes of having the museum down here is to honor the men and women who served in the military. For a small donation, if you would like to honor someone that's been in the military by coming down here and making a display so people could come in and see that. This handsome gentleman standing next to me is my uniform when I was in the Navy, and I retired in February of 1990. So I did 30 years in the military, and now I have devoted the last 30 years of my life, to doing things like his to help our fellow veterans, men and women.
We found dogs, but none of them were mine.
We must be getting closer. Okay, so I understand you weren't old enough for the first one. The one was Navy. Oh, we got the Air Force.
Air Force right here. Yep.
We'll get to it.
Okay. And very important in the military was canines.
Again, when planning the museum, we had to decide which way we wanted to do our displays. So we basically decided that we were going to do our museum based on wars. A lot of museums that you go into are based on branch of service. So what we did is we took this little area back here and we honored the different branches of service, starting with the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and we are working on getting things for the National Guard. But this is a way that we can honor each individual service and put specific items to that service on display.
So no one guessed it when I was giving out lunch to somebody or dinner, if they guessed where we were going to be at today. But this is the real deal. We finally found the real Tony Busby.
We know because it says so right there.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I think the real Tony Busby is right here. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an honor to see your uniform displayed here. And it really is. It brings tears to my eyes, bro. I am serious.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving our country, buddy.
So we finally found it. We got the right one. But this is him. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's the dress greens, which are actually no longer in service in the U.S. Army. They've transitioned to dress blues only. Actually, the uniform I had in combat is the same uniform as this, which they don't even have that anymore. They've gone through 2 other types of uniforms since this one. So I did serve in Iraq from 04 through 05. Did a lot of work with the Marine Corps, a lot of work with the Seabees. Every branch worked together. So it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, and it was also one of the worst. So.
The most recent addition to the Armed Forces of the United States is called the Space Force. We have a flag from the Space Force, and it's so new that we have no artifacts from it. But this is something that President Trump just created, just signed into law. So we do now have 6 branches of the armed services, and the Space Force being the last one. Again, when we opened up the museum, we decided that we would take donations from anyone that wanted to make a donation to the museum. 80% of what we have in our collection here are items used by the men and women in our armed forces. They've actually used the items in here. And we are now getting donations from all over the world of different artifacts. And people come in and visit the museum, they go home, send us something from their country. We try to put it in a display someplace. And so again, 80% of the artifacts in this museum were used by the men and women of the armed forces. This table represents our remembrance of the POW MIA. We still have quite a few servicemen and women who are unaccounted for. So for most celebrations, we always have this table, and this table represents our honoring them, and it covers with different artifacts on there that cover different areas, like the plate and the salt on the plate, the tears and whatever. So we use this basically at all dinners and celebrations that we have, and we always remember our POWs and MIAs.
What's going on, Crema de Nona? We are, as you can see, definitely out of our area altogether, bringing you something different, and we wanted something really special to bring you for the 4th of July. And you guys know we love our veterans, and we do everything we can to try and take care of it. And if you noticed, when you walk in the door, what is the one thing I say every Friday, Julio?
Wear red, R-E-D. And what does that stand for?
Remember, everybody deployed. As soon as you walk in this place, you better have your red on if you come in here on a Friday. So I want to take just a quick second. I know we usually go through our introductions and that, but forget that. I'm so excited today.
Doesn't matter who he is, doesn't matter who I am.
Yeah, forget about us.
Who Tony is and this gentleman here, Don.
You guys know Tony
Really
Busby, and he said he wanted to show you some stuff that he had in a local museum, and this is a local museum, a local business, and you want to support your veterans, you want to support a local business, you come out and you see this gentleman here, Don. Don, thank you so much for letting us come in, hang out, and show us all this stuff you have going from when our country first started all the way up to where we're at today.
And especially thank you for serving our country, sir.
Well, thank you. Well, it's my pleasure to be with you all today. You're in a place that's, very, very important to me and for what it represents. We started this museum because there's no veterans, real veterans organization other than social organizations in Osceola County. So we started this museum to honor the men and women who have served. And that's our primary purpose, is just to honor the people that actually serve, because there's no one here other than the military people here that know much about the military. And so we thought this might be a good way to have a place to where people could come in and find out what it's like to be in the military, what our military experience was like.
Well, if some of you guys remember last year when we went out, thank you to all of the donated and volunteered, when we went to Fisher House, Don was actually part of Fisher House from the get-go. Is that correct, Don?
Yeah, at the very beginning, I helped them out on the board of directors, and unfortunately, as they opened up their doors and everything, it just I cannot stay on the board because it actually took too much of my time. So, I come back and again, I devote 90% of my energy toward this museum.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely awesome. And it's kind of crazy how small of a world it is, because we're in and out with the VA and the Fisher House and things we've done, whether it's something through the East Chamber or through Crema de Nona or just from contacts we have, such as Tony and that. We never crossed paths.
Well,
we probably walked right across each other on the sidewalk, and now we get a chance to finally meet.
Wow.
But I think this is just absolutely awesome. But that just goes to show you how small of a world it really is. So
it's a small world, but this is really worth the trip. If you care, if you are a patriot of our country, it's in your duty to come into this museum and check out everything that they have here.
Yeah, and like he's been telling you, there is stuff going from day one, United States of America, day one, up to today. So tons of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I know we just had Flag Day just a few days ago. I know you had a ceremony that you had out here. Can you talk a little bit about what happened on that?
Okay, we try to do all the patriotic holidays. We had a little ceremony here. No one else in the area was doing a flag retirement ceremony. So we did one here at the museum. It was on a small scale because of the conditions that we are in right now. But we had quite a few people come out, to honor our flag. And so what we did is we just had a in-house ceremony. I read the presidential proclamation and a couple other things. And then we actually did a burning of a flag, which we took a cotton flag and not supposed to do it, but we cut it into strips so everyone could participate in the burning of the flag, which is the correct way of retiring a flag. So we set it up out back, and we had the Osceola County Veterans Council render the rifle salute, and we had a bugler play taps, and then we actually burnt that one particular flag in a little grill that we had out there. And it was a small, quiet ceremony, but yet again, it showed that people are interested in paying respect to our flag. And in the state that we are in right now, that is very, very important. We, as loyal Americans, should display the flags every day of our lives.
And that was the proper way of burning the flag.
And that's the proper way of doing it. That's the only way to properly, supposedly according to the flag law, to properly dispose of a flag.
And I think it's great you said that, so people do know. And just for that want to know, I actually took the one down outside my house because it wasn't showing a strong red, white, and blue anymore. It was starting to get a little tattered from some of the storms and that. I just took it down. I got a brand new one that's up ready to go for the 4th of July. I was going to wait till the 4th of July and properly dispose of
I love Tony's flag. Tony, want to mention your flag?
Well, I turned around and decided I was finally had enough money to put up a flagpole in my front yard, and I threw up a 20-foot pole with lighting, because according to flag code, you're supposed to light it if you're flying it at night. And I also put the U.S. Army flag right underneath it, a slightly smaller flag, because the American flag should be the largest on the pole and always on top.
Yeah. And are you planning anything for the 4th of July to commemorate?
We really don't do anything here at the museum because there's always fireworks and everything going on. Usually we take our mobile museum down to Orlando at Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park?
Yeah, they have a big ceremony. We've been down there last 3 or 4 years, and I don't think they're going to do it this year. I don't think anyone's doing fireworks
They're
this year.
not doing fireworks.
They're all going to do a viral or virtual celebration showing fireworks in the past. But yet again, we will do something here at the museum.
And
What it is yet, I've never done a ceremony here at the museum for the 4th of July, but I will do something at the museum.
And will it be open to the public?
It'll be open to the public.
It's
right.
a great time to get out. 4th of July is on a Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, you
So
guys
it's a
got
great time to get out.
You guys got what is it? The 2nd, I think it is.
Well, the official day is the 3rd, so you actually
you guys-
people that are not working.
Yeah. So, but it's on the 4th, which is a Saturday. So come on out.
Yeah.
Show you can show some respect. You can show some. You can give some donations. You can help with the cause that he has here. I got 20 reasons why you should go, and I really don't have any of why you shouldn't, unless you got something.
No, the 21st reason would be just to make sure you read in the information below. We'll get you the address and where you need to go.
Yeah, we'll get all the information. And Don, can you tell us, how can we get a hold of you? Where can you give us your address, if you have a website or Facebook, something where we can get a hold of you, where everybody can see a lot more of what you have?
Okay, we have a website on museumofmilitaryhistory.com. That's a website where our schedule is posted on there. We are also on Facebook. We do various posts for various military events throughout the year or through the past and everything. We do post up there quite often, so it's through that. My address and most of the workers here, our email address is Military Museum, and my number is 1, Military Museum, the number 1, at gmail.com. And then all the rest of them go, 2 through, about 14 right now, people that have the Military Museum 1, or the Military Museum Gmail address. So that's a way to get a hold of us. We also, you can buy discount tickets on TripAdvisor. You can get discount tickets through Groupon, that will reduce the amount that you have to pay. We do charge an admission fee to come into the museum because we need that money to keep our doors open. We do, like I say, we do have memberships, which is annual membership's $35. Family membership is $75, and that covers up to 6 people. Everyone gets a membership card that you can come in. Membership card is good throughout the year. You never have to pay anything when you have a membership card when you come in.
That's very affordable for a family plan of 6.
Yeah. So 6 people for $35.
No, $75.
$75.
Well, even so.
So it's $35 for individuals,
So basically-
$75 for a family of 6.
You're going to pay for yourself, your spouse, and now you get to bring
Kids are free.
all the kids.
Basically, kids are free.
Yeah, so
The kids will love this.
you'd be crazy. And it's going, obviously, to a good cause on that. So, man, that's...
I'm glad we did this, man.
Yeah,
it
this is absolutely
I'll tell you
awesome.
something, Rob, and I was very sentimental speaking with Tony earlier because I appreciate what Tony has done. You know, a partner in crime here, but this is very touching.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were basically almost forced to come here because of, you know, the Heineken thing, right?
Yeah.
But thank God that we were able to come here. This is amazing.
Yeah, we wanted to bring you guys something different. We had ideas from our members. We tell you, if you want to see something, you want to hear something, you want to know something,
Let us know.
especially if it's in our backyard, we want to know about it. We need to know about it. He needs you to know about it. But come out and honestly, you want to forget about schools or anything else. You want to know how things really happened.
Real history.
He was there. Tony was there. You pick what it was. There's someone that was there, and that's what this whole place is about. As you see, so we've shown you everything throughout the place. So come by, check it out. Bring your kids. This is where your kids need to learn. You know, I learned more about stuff that happened in World War II from my grandfather telling me the stories. I learned more about the history in the city of Chicago from my grandfather. Riding a train, going to Wrigley Field to watch a ball game. And he'd tell me, oh, I remember this happened here. It may have been a mobster shootout or something. And he's got some stories with that stuff too.
The
But
Valentine's Day
there's,
massacre.
there's stuff that happened and going Ravenswood, you know, the Ravenswood area and that. He's like, oh, this used to happen. I was a little boy going through doing such and such. And learn it from where it came from. Don't just trust someone that posts something, whatever, unless it's on Crema de Nona, because you know we don't mess around. So
These are facts.
these are facts.
These
so,
are facts.
but come out, bring the kids, check it out. If anything, do it for yourself. Get out of the house, go see something that's a good cause that's going to help you out. And
You're open 7 days a week, or
We're open 6 days a week. Right now, it's only 5 days because the business is really down. So we've closed on Sunday. But normally we are open. We're open Tuesday through Sunday.
Saturday.
No, we're open on Sundays, and we're closed on Monday. That gives us time to go through and clean up the museum, put things back that kind of get moved and everything. I have a couple other incentives I'd like to tell you about. When we started this museum, we went through a whole bunch of work through the Osceola County that helped us actually get this museum, and they gave us a grant of $1.8 million to purchase the building, renovate the building, and part of the money for the first 3 years of operation. This museum is unique because it is owned by every veteran in the world. This museum is in the veteran's name. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have 5 paid employees at the museum, and I've been with the museum since 2004. I became the chairman of the board and the director of the museum in 2007, and I have been a volunteer this whole time. I do not get paid for what I do. I do it because I love what I do here at this museum, and to me, this is so important that we tell people the story about the military. And again, it's even more important in this time frame that we're going through right now. So please come, and if you are a veteran, visit your museum and continue to support your museum, because if we don't get the contributions and enough visitors come to the museum, then we are in danger of having to close the museum, and that would be a shame. And I've got a lot of time invested in this, and another surprising fact is that I very soon will be 79 years old, and I still do this, putting in a 40 to 60 hour a week to the museum. So please come visit your museum. It's not our museum. There's no one that makes any money off of this. This is strictly a nonprofit, and if we do get a little money aside, a veteran walks in the door and needs help, we will help him. We will never turn a veteran away. So,
And those of you that can, please do. Like when we did the special at the Fisher House last year for 4th of July. You guys made it worthwhile, where we were able to cook for all the families that were in it, where we were able to supply them with another donation to help with all the families and the veterans and everybody that ends up going through there.
So now we went to history.
Yeah, now we're going to history. And I want to give you something else, so something that was brought to my attention too. Just because you come today, it could be different tomorrow because you move stuff around and you change the stuff that's in the museum. So it's not the same museum from day to day.
Yeah.
that's right. We constantly rotate exhibits. We change little things in the exhibits out. I have a storeroom back here that is basically stocked full of stuff that we have that has not made the floor. We also accept any military artifact that you want to donate to the museum. We do not buy any artifacts that go in here. And again, 80% of what we have is donated. The other 20% are items that we have on loan from various people. All our vehicles, except for our truck, our deuce and a half, is actually on loan from various businesses and individuals. So again, it's a unique museum. Come down. You won't be sorry that you came down to visit us.
I want to get Tony on for a second, but before I do, I want to piggyback on the donations. Out of respect, we cannot record, but as we were here bringing the museum to Crema de Nona, we actually had a military personnel donating a bunch of stuff to the museum, and it was very touching to see that. I mean, you have to be here. You just have to be here.
Yeah.
And he was like, I have more stuff, but he's going to donate it to a couple other locations. That was pretty awesome stuff. But Tony, you wanted to say something.
Now, Don, I know we've talked about people coming down to the museum and donating. But what if we've got people across state lines who aren't going to be able to make it down here, but would still like to give you a contribution to help keep the doors open in this place? How can they do that?
Okay, we do have, again, on our website, there's a link on our website to where they can send us an email with the information. If they need some additional information, we can send it to them. And we do have a PayPal account where they can donate into the PayPal account.
And do you know the PayPal account off the top of your head?
Well, why don't we just get it?
Oh yeah, we'll get it.
And then we'll put it down in the comments for people who want to make a donation. How's
Yeah,
that?
we'll have that in
Yeah.
the same place. And I tell you what I'm going to do. First 3 people, 3 of you that really want to up the stakes, you donate more than $300. $300. I will offer a month of sales training. That is a highly discounted rate from what I have. You're going to benefit for you, your business, and whatever employees you have. You're going to help out this business and the employees he has.
Your business.
And it's good for everybody. 3 people. I'm putting that on the line. 3 people, more than $300. You need to get a hold of Don. You need to tell him that you are from Crema de Nona and you are donating from your business and Crema de Nona to the museum. He will contact me with that information.
A cheap plug, and you guys have heard it from me before from Gold Star Title. We actually take care of our veterans because we rebate their settlement fee. So you're actually paying nothing to do your transaction with us here. So, our office is veteran owned.
There you go.
The husband is veteran and a policeman here in Osceola County. So this is our way of giving thanks, for those. So,
Okay.
I mean, there you have it, folks. We're giving back to our communities. How can you give back? Who else can we count on to do this for us?
Yeah, and
No, I'm pleading you guys. No, this is for real.
And once a month, we focus on a nonprofit, and we're always giving back wherever we can. So, what do you want to hear next? Where do you want Julio and I to go next?
This is right here. This is right here, right now. I mean, I'm not even thinking about tomorrow. I'm not. I'm sorry.
We're thinking about today, tomorrow, and moving forward. But without today, there is no tomorrow. So think about tomorrow with everything you're doing.
Today.
Yeah, so.
And we also have a business membership and a corporate membership if any businesses and corporations are doing it. And again, when I say this museum is owned by the veteran, it's titled to the veterans.
Okay.
There's no individual's name on the title to this building. So you are part of the building, you're part owner of this building.
I'll take on that fourth 300 donation and I'll give a family membership away.
How about that? So,
Yeah, I'll be the ante. I mean, what else? That's it.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
so the first three,
You know?
we'll get private sales training for a month. The next one after that, we'll get a family membership
No, just see me.
right here.
Well, I ain't got 300, but I'm going to give the museum $100 right now, and I task everybody else to do the same thing.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Well,
And you already give a lot of donations here, so
And
thank you for all you've done.
again, during this period of time, we had to close down by direction of the governor of the state of Florida. We had to close down for a period of time where we had no one coming in the door. And right now, we have very few people coming in the door. And that's not just this business, it's every business along this
On the
corridor.
corridor.
That's kind of in rough shape. Disney is opening up in July. Hopefully things are going to rebound and get better. But now is a desperate time that where we need help. Thank you.
So we're going to ask you to start here, but remember, if you're in the Osceola County, even the border of Orange County, which is not that far away, when you consider I-4, it's just a little bit north of here, Osceola Parkway, on the other side, you're already in Orange County. Come and support these small business owners in the area here on this corridor. I know there are markers here. I don't know which marker this is, but it's not that far. It's 5200 Irlo Bronson Memorial Highway, more or less.
Right before
what is the actual
Poinciana-
address of the building
Oh,
address?
Poinciana Boulevard. There's a building on New Aldi's right next door.
What's the physical address here?
5210 West Irlo Bronson Memorial Highway.
There you go.
Which is a long way of saving 192.
182.
And
Or
we-
Vine Street or what?
And the biggest landmark on this street is Old Town, and we are about a mile east, and not even a mile, about 3/4 of a mile east of Old Town
Gotcha.
on 192 at Poinciana Boulevard.
same side of the road.
Same side of the road.
Same
That's
side
right.
of the road.
So,
Anyway, with that, guys, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. Don, thank you so much again for letting us hang out here. We appreciate the service you gave to our country. We appreciate what you're doing here for our community. Tony, as always, thank you.
Always, thank
We
you,
love you.
Tony.
You know, like I said, it's all on the table. You guys know what to do from here. Get in touch. We'll get all the information in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're going to see right there, right by Julio, there should be a coffee cup. Click on that. Push
My
the
coffee.
button. Come on, let's do it. That's how you start number one, because now one more person is going to know about this place.
that's it.
With that, you guys have a phenomenal weekend. A phenomenal 4th of July. And
Hey.
go out, think a veteran.
Deal.
Okay, so how do we keep this museum running? We do collect a mission to the museum, but also we have memberships to the museum, which are very modest at $35 a year for an annual and $75 a year for a family membership. And we try to do various fundraising campaigns throughout the year, but we need help from the people that visit the museum and anyone else who would care to make a donation to the museum. It would be greatly appreciated, and it will help us keep our doors open. We are going through a hard time right now because of the virus. We had to shut down for about 3 months, loss of revenue. But it's not only us, it's the whole area down here that is suffering, and we kind of depend on the tourists down here to help keep us in business. So if you don't want to see the museum go out of business, we need some financial donations.
Whew. Well, I hope you guys love this as much as we did.
Mesmerizing, and it just touches the heart, man. There's so much replica there. I mean, it's amazing.
We tried to cover as much as we could in there. You guys are going to have to come down and see it.
You got
it.
it.
Is
It's worth the trip.
right off of 192. I think it is 5210.
Irlo
192.
Bronson Memorial. Yeah.
Everything will be in the description, so go there, check everything out. Get over here.
Yeah.
Support this museum, support your local businesses, support your troops, and you guys know we love veterans, and definitely thank you so much for Tony Busby helping us out, getting us in here, and I hope you enjoy seeing some of the stuff he had in this
You might
museum.
even see something you might recognize with that last name. How's that?
That's right, so we showed it to you. We got you everything you guys were asking for,
Only at Crema de Nona.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. See ya!